In this video, we're going to have a look at how you can create a risk register for your business. Put simply, a risk register is a table or a spreadsheet which lists out your different risks and identifies what you will do to mitigate or treat those risks. Having a proactive plan of what to do with each risk will help to make your business more resilient. Hi, my name is Andrew Ellis and I'm a business consultant with Community Business Bureau, or CBB. Depending on your organisational size, scale and the complexity of your services, the risk register could be done on a single page or even become so complex that you want a database or a dedicated risk management software to manage it. However, most organisations, in my experience, end up using an Excel spreadsheet which might print out over a couple of A3 pages. The most powerful part is that a risk register is scalable from a sole trader or a startup organisation up to multi-million-dollar, multifaceted and multidisciplinary businesses. CBB would recommend that you have a template to use and make sure it covers a number of different column headings such as your risk number, the category, risk description, your initial risk ratings, which is the likelihood, consequence and risk level, your risk treatment and mitigation actions, the risk owner and residual risk level. By assessing the risks into different levels such as extreme, high, moderate and low, it provides a logical basis for you to prioritise which risks deserve more resources and actions being applied to mitigate them. Now let's go through the 6 steps that you're going to need to develop that risk register using the process from the International Standard on Risk Management. Firstly, you need to identify risks, which means having a wide range or group of people involved and brainstorming those various different types of risks. Secondly, you want to analyse each risk with its likelihood and consequence, where likelihood is the probability that the risk will occur and the consequence is the impact of that. Third, you need to assess those risks, and that is rate them from low, moderate, high or extreme based on your analysis of the likelihood and the consequence. Fourth, you develop a treatment or a control action for each of those risks. Fifth, you assign an owner to each of the risks and the actions, such as a manager or key person tasked with managing that risk. Sixth, you analyse the residual risk, which is what is the new likelihood and consequence of that risk after the risk controls or treatments are put in place. You might be wondering what kinds of things to include in the risk register. Common risks can include things like finance and cash flow, safety, people matters, cyber attack, and risks are related to service delivery. So for example, in disability services, you might have home visits where you come into contact with, or could come into contact with, an aggressive dog, other people living in that home, or you might have to give medication. Let's think about an example for a risk in your risk register. There's the risk of cyber attack to the organisation. Based on the sophistication of your existing systems, you can analyse the likelihood and the consequence of that happening. The consequence could include days of lost productive work and reputational impacts as clients miss out on services, or even worse, if their personal data fell into the wrong hands. There are existing treatments in place, so you've got password protections, firewalls, updating and patching of software, and so on. After that though, there's still some residual risk, and an assessment of that residual risk might lead you to want to put some more treatments in place. Perhaps some training for staff in the early identification of suspicious emails. So there you have it. A risk register is a table or a spreadsheet which helps you to identify and prioritise the treatment of your risks. What should you do next? Well, if you've already got a risk register, we'd encourage you to review it and ensure it remains up to date. If you don't have one, then we'd suggest you use this 6-step process to create your own risk register for your business.